This is my audience. This is my mom, and she's 52. And this is my brother, and he is 20.
Hello, my name is Mia Klein, and this literature review is aiming to examine the biological differences between males and females in leadership roles in the workforce. The intention is not to prove which gender is more fit to lead, but to evaluate the variance in leadership between the two genders and to inform the audience of approaches to reduce assumptions about the other gender and minimizing stereotyping in the workforce. Doing so will improve mental health and work relations with the opposite gender. Have you ever been in an office or workspace and had a boss who got on your nerves and said something that made you upset? When this happens, sometimes people are quick to make assumptions about their decision-making processes if they're of the opposite sex. Females often are seen as overly emotional, conflict avoiders, family-focused, and more, while males are seen as more authoritative, competitive, and more risk-taking. These gender stereotypes of males and females in the workforce have existed since before the Industrial Revolution. This situation happens to many individuals, whether they are males or females in the workforce. If someone has been negatively stereotyped towards their gender, this can impact some feelings and actions due to this negative stereotyping. This negative stereotyping can lead to workplace harassment, bullying, and more. Not only this, but females in men-dominated roles and males in female-dominated roles tend to receive backlash because of these stereotypes as well. The goal of my research is to compare and educate the audience on these gender stereotypes revolving around the workplace and how that can affect not only the individuals but the corporation as well. After becoming more educated on how males and females naturally differ in leadership roles, we can learn how to lessen bias and educate ourselves more on the adverse effects of gender stereotyping. The result of this will challenge the notion that gender stereotyping is acceptable and allow us as individuals to learn and grow from this. Many types of leadership styles are apparent in the workforce. Leadership styles can be used and implemented differently depending on the individual. Not only this, but leadership styles also have an influence on the work environment and on the organizational influence of the company. According to Ruchi Dubey, Freya Shindi, Arefa Nadayadi, Amaya Javeri, and Samruddhi Sadvikar, in leadership styles, impact on job satisfaction and burnout, addressing workplace stress and implementing systematic changes in leadership practices is essential for organizations to create environments that promote employee well-being, engagement, and performance optimization. This quote reveals how identifying workplace stresses can allow employees to be more valued, loved, and appreciated. There are many leadership styles: transformational, transactional, laissez-faire, and more. Understanding the different leadership styles is essential because there are stereotypes surrounding these leadership styles and gender roles. Transformational leadership surrounds encouragement and motivation to collectively reach a specific goal. Shayana Jobert states, transformational leadership is used to inspire employees to look ahead with a focus on the greater good and to function as a single unit with a common goal in mind. It is not until a leader accomplishes these steps that a successful transformation can begin. Transformational leadership is shown primarily in transformational leaders who possess a few specific qualities. They're visionary, team-centric, collaborative, inspiring, and more. These qualities are some more that resonate with females. Females think more of others and more about collaboration typically than a male. It is discussed that females think more about others and are more about collaboration. According to Amy Novonte, female leaders demonstrate more transformational leadership and are likely to epitomize what's good in an organization and inspire people to go along with its mission compared with men, study results show. A transactional leadership approach is very similar to the nature of the term. Transactional means that both parties benefit from this leadership style. The leader benefits something, and so does the individual. The individuals that they are leading also benefit, and both parties have to make an effort in order to make this work. Transactional leadership is a more structured approach to leadership, and it does require more communication, but each party does have more payoff in that they receive. There are more characteristics of transactional leaders, which include but are not limited to focus on short-term goals, emphasis on efficiency, reward, and favoring hierarchy. These can be characteristics that stereotypically go along with males. Understanding transactional leadership is important because it is essential to many careers such as military and law enforcement, sales, manufacturing, production, education, and more. The final leadership style I will discuss is laissez-faire. Laissez-faire is less about rules and regulation and more about employee autonomy and free will. There are many pros and cons to this type of leadership. The main benefit of laissez-faire is that it encourages self-sufficiency and allows for faster decision-making. Self-sufficiency comes from this leadership approach because with the leadership being more pulled away, this allows employees to think more outside the box and find new ways of getting things done. According to Kendra Cherry, this autonomy can be freeing to some of the group members and help them feel more satisfied in their work. The laissez-faire style can be used in situations where followers have a high level of passion and intrinsic motivation for their work. This allows for growth and new ideas. Faster decisions come from this form of leadership due to the less amount of communication with management. These three styles are very important to know and utilize due to the emphasis they can place on gender roles and stereotypes. Understanding transformational, transactional, and laissez-faire leadership styles will help you be able to identify gender norms and gender stereotypes and realize that there are differences in communication. Stereotypes are often negative and can do more harm than good. These can also lead to prejudice and discrimination. Prejudice surrounds negative feelings and stay internal about an individual, and discrimination is where the negative behaviors are acted upon in an individual. Work is something that people have to do to support themselves and their families. When people enjoy a place of their work, they do better work. Stereotypes can have multiple negative impacts on an organization, which can include but are not limited to bias, limited career advancement, and decreased morale. Employees who feel if they are less than normal due to a stereotype are more likely to feel alienated and less likely to participate than if they were included and more involved. Not only this, but poor team dynamics can also be a result of stereotypes, which can lead to mistrust and ineffective communication amongst workers. Not only can prejudice and discrimination affect one's work and team dynamic, but can also affect one's personal life and mental health. According to Kate Gibson, employees who face constant criticism or don't get the well-deserved promotions because of stereotyping can lose motivation and interest in performing in their jobs. This leads to decreased morale, productivity, and employee retention. The two main ways that individuals are discriminated in the workforce is ageism and sexism. Ageism involves someone that is better than you because due to an age difference. And sexism is when an individual thinks negatively of the other gender. Sexism affects each gender differently depending on their gender and how comfortable they are in their sexuality. If a man has a higher voice, people may make the assumption that he's gay, which comes with another set of assumptions. If a woman lifts weights, she can be seen as manly. According to Kim Parker, about 4 in 10 working women, 42% in the United States, said they have felt discrimination on the job because of their gender. These gender stereotypes can lead to prejudice and discrimination due to the assumptions made. This topic is relevant for many reasons. After becoming more informed on the differences in males and females in leadership roles in the workforce, there will be an enhanced understanding of different leadership approaches, which may challenge the individual to try a new leadership approach. Understanding leadership styles in men and women can also aid in conflict resolution, which will enable a more positive work environment. Not only this, but education can reduce bias and make a more diverse and inclusive workplace. This will also bring a more positive organizational image because the company will be more seen as socially informed and educated. In my research paper, I will be researching the differences between males and females in leadership roles in the workforce. I'll compare them in terms of leadership styles and decision-making, risk-taking, emotions, and more. The purpose of my research paper is not to prove whether males or females are better at leading in the workplace than others, but to educate on how they differ. By identifying stereotypes and understanding them, we can lessen them and reduce bias within the workplace and make everyone feel included and important at their job. Thank you.